Good evening. Welcome to Guna Matters. And just remember, your opinion matters. So, without any further ado, let's first get this out of the way. Welcome back to Guna Matters. Hit the like, people. As always, subscribe to Guna Matters and also just put on the notification bell for you, obviously, to be notified when we are live. I've got a new person on the show, Isaac, my man. How are you doing? It's been a long time, brother. Isaac? Isaac, you're there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Welcome to Guna Matters. It's your first time on the show, and we met on Cannon Fodder. How have you been, brother?
I've been good. Hope you are doing well.
I am doing well, thank you. Laris is she's no stranger to the show. Laris, this is Isaac. He's from
Hello.
Kenya. A huge, controversial Arsenal fan.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to
Listen,
meet you
people,
too.
we're gonna talk about the ladies firstly. That's about it's a dismal abomination. Every bad word you can think of in the dictionary, you can link that name or that word to the Arsenal ladies. Now, Laris, I'm gonna give you a chance first to talk about. Wow, I don't have words. You have the floor. You have the mic. You have it there all. Go for it.
Yeah, well, I'm also still searching for the words. I mean, that was a beat down for sure. That was definitely not Champions League worthy. Yeah, I honestly only the first half I can pick like two players that was like good enough, and after the second half it was like zero players for me that I thought like they were even up the level. Oh, I lost all of you. But yeah, no, it was nah, it is I really have no words to be honest. And Glenn is mute.
Isaac, did you watch the game?
I just watched the first half.
Well, you
While
watched the better part of it all.
You watched the best half.
uh,
What was your take on what you've seen really?
you see, I was watching the ball, and then went 1-0 up. Then we conceded a very poor goal, and then we conceded a second one, and then I went, oh, this is going to be a nightmare.
Mm.
And then I switched off and went to bed because it was nighttime over here. We usually right now we are 2 hours ahead. I said I'm not going to watch them get destroyed because I can see it's going to be a hammering because of the way we were defending.
Oh
Mhm.
my, you can tell
Because
me that again.
I expected us to defend better
Yeah, we run the
since we went 1-0 up. I expected us to have some good display and show class. But when I saw the way they were going through us, uh, I said, I'm not going to watch this. I just went to sleep. And then in the morning, I went to check the scores. It's 5-2. And then, okay. So you were hammered. It was a beat down.
Yeah, I mean, let us. What is your take on and I mean, you and I obviously in our group chat last night after the game, we ranted about this
oh
bloke Jonas out of health. For me, I don't know if he doesn't change anything in the next game. he had a hangover on the Everton game into last night. I mean, yes, we scored first and we had a better performance on the first half, but a dismal defending in the second, and you can't, for the life of me, expect these girls to do something to bring them on 10 minutes before the final whistle. Ooh, I think Jonas has to turn things around, otherwise he has to go.
Well, you know me, like until Sunday actually, I was always still like give him benefit of the doubt. We'll see what he will do. I mean, new season, new player, so I was actually still yeah, not having his back. That's a big word, but you know how I was. And until Sunday, actually sitting there in the stadium, and I was like, "Oh God!" At a few points, I went like, "Oh God!" I actually wanted to get up and leave. It was that bad. And now yesterday as well, I was like, "I'm done with this guy." For me, I was actually hoping today they would have posted like, "He's gone. We get a new player, a new
Coach.
trainer in. You know, let's go to Saturday." But instead we got like some drafted post that said like, "Oh, we have to do better than this," and all of this. And it's just the fact that we have like World Cup players in. We have a gold medalist in for the Olympics, and he's not reaching their potential. Like he's not getting the potential out of these girls, and that's something that
Larissa, there's something with your mic. Larissa, can't hear you. Larissa, can't hear you. Can't hear you. Um, okay, Isaac, continue. Can you continue quickly with that question and until we get Larissa back?
Okay, okay.
Jonas
Actually,
Idoval.
I was listening to the commentator last night, and
Mm-hmm.
the commentator was saying that we had only won away to a German side once,
Yes.
although we were 1-0 up. And after the hammering, I was okay. So this is the voodoo, and we don't win away at a German side except once that we've won away, and we've got to change that. We've got to
Yeah.
change that. We've got to play better,
Yeah.
and I'm afraid if that is how we be playing away, we'll get beat.
For
We
sure.
have to be composed. We have to play better. We have to improve, because uh, when you look at the manager going from 1-0 up to 2-1 down, and then he looked lost. But like his tactics, there's nothing he could do. There's nothing he could change to change the game, at least to stop leaking the goals and score or win the game. But I I don't feel okay when you go 1-0 up and then you end losing the game 5-2.
Yeah.
You go 1-0 up, you should go ahead. If you add a second one, and then you go ahead to win the game. But
Yeah.
going 1-0 up and then going to lose the game, for me, it's not acceptable.
No, it's not because I mean, for me, yes, we had a better performance than we had against Everton Sunday in the WSL, but I mean, even then, his substitutions. I mean, remember when Arteta started in the beginning? He used to start doing substitutions, and even now still doing substitutions. very late in the game. But this guy, I don't know where he learns this, and he has never done it last season. I mean, to bring in substitutions that late, you can't do that when you. I mean, even when it's 3-2, you got to start doing decisions, making decisions to affect the game in a positive way. I mean, when we went to equalize the 2-2, you should have done something to say, now we've got them back. Now we have to, you know what I mean? But not this. This guy is I don't know. Larissa, sorry, is your sound back on?
I hope so.
Yeah, now it's on. Sorry, man. You can continue with what you were saying. I'm gonna remove this 5-2 because it's in my face. It's it's too bold. Oh my word.
It's not a good reminder.
No, it's not. Oh, there's Isaac also. I don't know what's wrong with the gremlins tonight.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
continue, Loris.
Yeah, it's also the fact that you have like a player like Rose Kafashi and you leave her on the bench. Like she's creative. She can do a lot in front. And then you bring
You can
like
hear me?
it's like
Yeah.
the
Okay. So I
last.
was saying I looked
S-
at it was
sorry,
last.
sorry, sorry, Isaac. Loris is still talking there quickly. Sorry, man.
Oh,
I
sorry,
lost you
sorry.
for a bit.
Oh,
That's all right. Um, like
How's it going?
Beth Mead right now.
Oh
She's
man,
I'm not a fan
I can't
right
hear
now.
Laris.
you can't hear Loris.
I can hear you both.
Yeah, I think Isaac can't hear you. Okay, that's the wrong one.
Can you hear me,
Um,
Glenn?
continue. I can hear you. I just want to do some settings, but continue.
Okay, like Beth Me for me, she's not. Yeah, she doesn't look fit. And yesterday she got in. I don't know what minute it was that she got subbed in, and right away she already had like a bad pause and stuff like that. And I was like, why even bring her in? Like, why not bring Kafashi in? And then she has to come in like the last 10 minutes. What can she do? I mean, she gets one ball, she gets two balls, and that's it. Then it's the final whistle. Same as with Russo. Russo comes in. She had like a few touches, and that was it. And I think like, why bring these players in so late? I mean, he could have made changes when they went into the second half already. Like, I'm sorry, but Kim Little, she was also not good enough after the second half. I mean, even the first half, I wasn't even impressed with her, but he could have taken her off during the break, get Cooney Cross in. Not that she has been great also,
Yeah,
but get her in, start something different. He could have got Kafashi in straight after the 45th minute and see what she can do. I mean, he was already like on a draw. It could have been better, but it could have also been not that worse like we had yesterday. Like it could have maybe be only like a 3-2 or a 4-2.
yeah. Um, are you are you are you there,
I'm there.
Loris? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Isaac, can you hear Larissa?
No, I still can't hear.
Still can't.
I
I
can
don't know
hear
what
him.
is. She can hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know what is the reason. What is the reason for that? I've set all my settings correct. Um.
Mm.
I can hear you both.
All right. Isaac, sorry. You can continue with what you were saying early on.
I was saying he's got to learn to do his
I think there's something wrong. The gremlins with is so annoying. Um. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with with your network there, brother.
Well, seems there's a bit of a buffering. But I was saying,
A
I
buffering.
think, yeah, I think I was trying to look at Ateta, and I think he's learned a little bit because when we went one nil down to Southampton, and then Havertz equalized, and then he ordered three players to change immediately
Yeah.
because he saw the chance. But
Mm.
this one also has got to learn that sometimes when things are not working, you've got to have a plan B and a plan C. Because
Yes.
when you get beat, you don't just fold your hands and say, "Oh yeah, then go ahead, just do whatever you want to do." You do not fold your hands and give up. You've got to give a good fight.
Yeah.
But what I saw
Mm.
yesterday in that first half before I went to sleep was like someone who surrendered and said, "Okay, you just go ahead and kill me
Mm.
because you've overplayed me and your tactics are better than mine. Then just go ahead and run me over." It's got to change that and have a plan that when things are going south, you've got to do something and affect the game because uh, I think we suffer the most. You watch that game and you suffer the most. There's nothing you can do about it because he's the one who's seated at the technical bench who's doing the changes. But you're
Mm.
suffering while watching this game.
And that's the frustration part, eh? Because I mean, how many times and you're referring to Arteta, you're referring to Arteta how he used to. I mean, we've been calling for a plan B with Arteta. We've been calling for him to change his game in the game while the match is on, and he's learned a bit of those things. He's changed the way he's been playing. We've been calling for a plan B, a plan C, A B C D, and Arteta just had one way to play, and that was it. And it seems like Jonas has just got this one way. He's tried to change the tactics a little bit since last season, but now he's sticking with the tactics, and it's a negative way of playing. And I mean, I made a video this morning or afternoon and saying that even Ian Wright, I didn't know that. I mean, the commentator said last night that Ian Wright also came out and used criticism on how they performed against Everton on Sunday. And I mean, I wonder what he would say about how they performed last night because um, maybe they should get Nicholas Jova in there to teach them how to defend set pieces. I mean, that guy has changed a lot in our men's team in
Mm.
terms of set pieces. So Jonas has so much to learn. And believe you me, and I'm with you, Laris, is when he doesn't change things around by come this weekend. He's got no other game to change that around. He's got the next game,
No.
which is this weekend. He has to change it immediately because
Yeah.
he's under immense pressure. Um, and I'm sure they're going to look at him and say, I mean, how can you be sixth on the table at this point?
Yeah.
How's that? From a third, I think it's third last season,
Yeah.
from a third position into a sixth position and only 2 games in.
Yeah.
It's still early, but you got to change it now. You have to
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah.
So I'm with you,
But
Laris. If he doesn't change it, he has to go.
but it's also the thing that he keeps holding on his tactics, like he doesn't change anything. Like it's if after 50 minutes or 60 minutes it's still not working, he keeps still going in these tactics. But the thing is, like he wants to play very defensive. Like with everybody that he has on the pitch, they all have to play in a defensive way. But we have a few players that are like free ballers. Like Mariona, she's not used to playing like defensive, so she's like
She
a
can't. You
free
can see
runner.
she's frustrated. Sorry,
No,
Isaac.
exactly.
Can you hear Laris already? Not yet. Isaac? Uh, yeah, I don't think so. Continue, Loris.
Yeah, and we have a few of those. Like we have Caitlin Ford. She's also more of like a free runner. We have Kafashi. She's more like a free runner. And then I think like it's okay if you want to play like a defensive style, but then you also have to sign defensive players and not only go for like the players that you think like has the big name and it's like maybe Arsenal worthy or whatever. And so you have to get players who fit your defensive style. These players, Russo, Kafashi, Mariona, Ford, they don't fit the defensive play. So you either change tactics with them or you just get rid of these players and get your defensive players in. And that's his problem also against these lower blocks and these mid blocks. The way that he plays, these players don't get any free range in front of the goal. And I actually mentioned this on Facebook somewhere. That I said like we have Kelly Smith. She's like the coach for the forwards. She's
Mm.
training them. She's trying to make them better. But in my opinion, she was a brilliant player. But I don't think what she does is working because when was the last time that we saw a long distance shot or towards goal? It's all the time now in front of the goal, playing the ball around and hoping that somebody will tap it in. Well, guess
Mm.
what? It's not working with all of these teams. It's not working. We suddenly start doing these short corners are not working. We had like 10 of them in the Leicester game. They were not working. So then I think like change these things. And I actually saw today, it's been out earlier already. There was an interview with Chloe Lacasse, our former player. And she was actually speaking about the fact that she lost her joy playing football under Jonas
Mm.
last season. And it's also the way how his tactics are, that he plays very defensive tactics, and it just doesn't fit her style of playing. And that's why she made the choice to leave the Arsenal after one season, and now she finally feels like she just gets her spark back in football.
Yeah, well, no, that's the problem, and I think you alluded it to last night. If we can't bring a vibe and an atmosphere to the fans at the Emirates,
No.
we are gonna lose out on that stadium and that stage whereby fans can come in the numbers to support Arsenal
Yeah.
ladies. And it's gonna be a sad day to see we're losing out on the numbers at the Emirates, because you don't want to go to the Emirates and it's not empty. Then you might as well go back to what is the other stadium? You mentioned
Meadow
it,
Park.
the Meadow Park Stadium. Then you might as well go there in order to sort of compensate for the capacity. But you have to change things around, not just for the fact of the fans, but for the players as well. Because I mean, Kafashi Kafaji, Ford, and you've mentioned Russo, you've mentioned Mariona. I mean, he's played Caitlin Ford for backs, right,
Yeah.
the right wing back. How do you do
Yeah.
that? Yes, you can do it, but it's not needed. She is so frustrated there. Where did she end up? Um, on Sunday's game, she ended up on the left side where she normally plays from a right back position. So
Yeah.
that's the frustrating part. And for players to come out and say they weren't happy, they didn't like football playing under him, that is a major concern.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it is so important for him to change, to I mean, why do you buy players that are so exciting, so attacking minded, like the Kafaji, like the
Mhm.
versatile Mariona? She's so versatile. I will give Manam a bit of a rest and play in Kafaji and see the changes that she will bring to that team. And I said to you last night, I would have dropped Kim Little, and I bring
Mm.
in bring in Cooney Cross, and let she
Mhm.
stay behind Leo Walty, because Leo
Yeah,
Walty is amazing and magnificent when she goes from box to box and across the field. That is just
she
how
she
she.
was actually she was actually the best one in first half.
Exactly. She was the one who dictated everything. She
Yeah.
slowed the game. She will dictate the play. And for me, Kim Little was a bit too quiet also as the captain. Where was
Mhm.
Leah Williamson? Where was
They were
Katie
lost.
McCabe? Those are your leaders. Those are your leaders on that field. And if they can't come to the party and say, girls, we have to man up or lady up or whatever the phrase is, we have to man up and grow a bit and just take it to them, because they are beatable. I mean, you've proved that you came back twice. I mean, you came back with a I mean, you scored first and you came back with the equalizer. So they are beatable. I mean,
Yeah.
they are 5 games in their league, and they 5 out of 5. Now they've got a Champions League behind them as well. And I think two, the commentator Isaac, you can remind me, is that two games they went behind in their league, and they came back in those games and win 5-1 and 6 or whatever, and they beat the teams by 2 or 3 goals a game. It is frustrating, I tell you. Isaac, are you sorted, brother?
Yeah, I'm sorted. I was trying to change my network, and I've changed that, and I hope this one is going to be stable and no buffering anymore.
Can you hear the rest? Not yet, or can you?
Yes, yes, I can hear
Can
now.
you hear
But
now? All right.
there was also the fact that Bayer, they showed us how to play as a team.
Yes.
We really look like 11 individuals who were like running around headless because they didn't even know what to do. And Byron really showed how to play as a whole of a team. And you saw the same thing last night with City as well. They played as a whole team and they actually beat Barcelona with 2-0. And
Mm.
where was we? We was just running around like headless chickens on the pitch.
Isaac, the girl who scored the hat trick, Holder. I don't know if that's the name, Holder.
Mhm.
Harder.
Uh, Harder. Is it
Yeah.
Harder? Holder? Harder.
The Pernell Harder.
Yeah. I mean, how do you play? That goal is unplayable. Two headers, two header goals, set piece goals.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, even the fact that Blackstenius was in the back line trying
The
to
first goal.
defend that one header.
Mm,
Like, where was the rest? Shouldn't there be like an Emily Fox or a Leah Williamson?
yeah.
You shouldn't
From a
have to have Blackstenius in the back line.
from a set piece or corners, Isaac, goalkeeper perspective, what should she have done? Zinsberger for me was very poor.
You've got to command your box. Command your
Yes.
box. Talk to your players. They know where they should be. They know what you're doing. That is how a goalkeeper works. I was a coach before I left coaching and went to employment, and I know that goalkeepers have got to speak. If you are a quiet goalkeeper, then you will leak goals. People
Mm. Oh, shame, man.
We
Yeah.
lost him again.
You can continue with that question as well. Okay, let's hear what he
that is
says. Maybe he'll come in. Let him talk. Just now he goes apart.
saying that you've got to let know people what you want, where you want them to be, and what you want them to do. And
Yeah.
you also have to be sure of what you want to do yourself. The claims, you have to claim your balls. Tell them when it is yours, it is mine. Let me take
Mm.
it. But if you're
Yeah.
that quiet and you disorganized in the back, and then there is a set piece, then you get punished. That's how you get punished, and you leak goals. Zinsberger has got to command her box and tell the player what they have to do, but we also have to work on our set piece defending.
Yeah, and then, I mean that comes from the training ground. I mean that has to come from the manager.
Mm,
He has to know what they want to do. They have to know. I mean, they, like you say, headless chickens. They run around with. I mean, Zinsberger, the first goal for Bayern, she was almost a meter and a half apart from a near post. You cover your
mm,
near post as a goalkeeper first. I mean, that goal came in so quickly in that near post.
mm.
Th-
Yeah, but have you also noticed that she never sets their players where they need to be? It's always like either Lotte or Leah or even Cody right now. They are setting the players. It's not the goalkeeper who sets the players.
Mm.
And that's
And
the thing
and
that Isaac was mentioning as well.
she has to command it. I mean, that's to come from her. I mean, I'm sure David Raya, he tells his guys there,
Yeah,
there, and this is whatever codes they use on training ground. This is the number two. This is number one, and whatever
yes,
else. You need to have that communication. I
yeah.
mean, it's pathetic. And who are we playing this weekend, Laris?
Chelsea.
Oh my word.
Yeah. Uh,
And that is the standard for the WSL is Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea has won what, four WSL.
Chelsea. Ha.
They are the standard.
And they have an
Man City,
upper hand.
yes, and Man City are the standard. Those two teams that ended above us last season, that is the standard. That is what you need to break down. And
yeah.
by the way we going, we ain't winning them. I mean,
Oh,
yes, we drew against City, but I mean that was also a bit of a luck draw.
that was a
Although
lot.
although we scored two goals, but they came
We
back in that
actually
game.
should have won that one because Caitlin Ford was not offside.
Sure, true, and you know what? It's unfortunate that VAR is not there. And in fact, last night there was one goal that also looked very offside
Yeah,
from the Bayern Munich goal.
yeah.
However, but that's beside the point. The fact is that we couldn't finish our chances and we couldn't defend their goals. Doesn't mean anything. The referee
Yeah,
will
but
be the referee. We can never blame the referees. They will have to finish and defend what they need to do. Sorry, Loris.
the you know what the thing is as well. Like if you saw the game on Sunday, that was even poorly. And then you have like these afterwards interviews where players will say like, "Oh, this is giving us fuel. This you will see a different team on Wednesday. We are fired up. Blah blah blah." Even Leah Walty in the press was saying like, "Oh, we are really excited for this. We are looking forward for this. We're gonna show what we can do." And then you see this poor performance. I mean, I even sent out a tweet yesterday that said, like, I think you guys forgot to pack the fuel because there was
Mm,
no fog or anything. And then, like if you give an interview like that, you need to back yourself as well. And then you need to
yeah,
go out there and show it. I mean, now today, Arsenal post something like your support is now more than ever important, yada yada yada, a lot of yada yada yada. And then they go out Saturday and probably we will get trashed by 7-0, 8-0. And then I think like, yeah, you can put out these statements, you can put out these interviews, but you also need to back it. You need to back what you say.
yes, you can't just go down and gaslight everybody and get the fans to back you. If you
No,
can't back
exactly.
yourself, you
No,
have to back
exactly.
yourself. If you're gonna say you're gonna have a different team on Wednesday, yes, your first half was better than Sunday, but
Yeah.
still your performance was poor in the
Yeah.
whole for the whole
Yeah.
90. So you gotta back. You're right. You gotta back yourself come to the field and come to the pitch and bring your A game. Don't just come and be mediocre and think that you've hyped up the fans. Yeah, we're gonna see this and we're gonna see that.
Yeah.
No, you have to bring it. What you say, you
Like
have to bring it to the field.
come out aggressive, come out, like you really want to win this, but they didn't even look like they wanted to win the game.
Nah, they
And there
didn't.
was this,
But
I don't know if you saw it. There was this thing on Sunday that Leah Williamson was actually saying to the assistant coach what he needed to do.
no, man,
I
that's the
mean,
problem. That's the
that's
problem.
even, yeah, but that's even poor. Like she's sitting on the bench and she's telling an assistant coach, "Oh, you need to do this and this and this." She's a player.
Yes, you got to listen to the coach. That's why I said to you last night. It has to come from the coach. The coach has got the plan. He's got the tactics. He has the know-how, and he has to come and change things around.
Yeah,
The
but you
players
know, the,
and the players have to bring their game. They have to do whatever they need to do on the pitch, but the coach have to give the instructions, change this, swap it around, or do whatever we did on training on Sunday or whatever on Saturday. You got to communicate those things clearly and objectively that they can understand what they have to do. Because, like Isaac said, uh, the goalkeeper needs to know what she needs to do, and the defenders needs to know what they have to do. You don't need a
mm,
striker at the back post to come and do the
no,
defending. There's
no,
a right back and there's a right center back. And
no,
the midfield, I mean, she should stay outside, and if the ball comes, the counter is on. So she
yeah,
can't come in there and defend. There is a Leah Williamson, there's a Emma Fox, and there's a Leah Walty, and your midfielders must come in and they do the defending as
yeah,
well. So
yeah,
it's poor because Chelsea on Saturday,
yeah.
Sunday, they're
Saturday,
gonna they're gonna kill us, and we're playing
they're
at the
gonna
Emirates,
trash.
isn't it?
Yeah, I'll
So
be there
if
again.
oh man, I'm feeling for you,
Yeah, me too.
Isaac. What do you think is gonna happen on Saturday? Is it Saturday
Saturday, yeah.
for this ladies game? Isaac, oh man.
Uh,
All right,
yeah, but you
Emerson.
know that what I meant yesterday is that like obviously the set pieces are not working, the tactics are not working. You have like so many coaches of like captains in our team. You have a Leah Walty, you have a Kim Little, you have a Leah Williamson. Who else do we have? Like we have so many.
Codina. We've got Codina there. She's tall. She's lengthy.
Yeah, no, no, no.
She's
I mean, like the captains we have,
oh
like
yeah, the
we have Katie McCabe.
Katie McCabe.
Yeah, like Steph Catley for Australia, even Caitlin Ford sometimes for Australia. Like we have so many captains in our team that I don't understand that they don't get together and say to Jonas, like Jonas, listen, the things that you are doing are not working. Let us do something else. We have the experience. We are on the pitch. We have to do it with the people on the pitch. Let us try something else and see if it works.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a good point Emerson is making. If Chelsea has watched our game last night, they're
Oh,
gonna
they did.
target us. They're gonna target us on
Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah,
Because now they're gonna do the things that Bayern did to us on set pieces, on
yeah,
corners, on free
yeah.
kicks. It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen on
Yeah,
on
but
on
it's
on on,
it's
on the
it's
Emirates.
not it's not only Chelsea who will target us on this. Everybody in the whole WSL knows how we play. Because we only
Exactly.
play like one style, so everybody in the whole WSL knows how we play. So it will be easy to take us down. It's gonna be very easy this season to take us down
Yeah, because it's
if
15
we
years
don't change anything.
15 years ago, Everton lost got a point from Arsenal. 15 years ago,
Yeah, I know.
Isaac, that's a long time ago.
We beat them last season on 5-0,
And now we couldn't score a goal
and
against
now we
them.
couldn't even
Wow.
score one goal.
Mm, mm. All right, I didn't do predictions for this game on Saturday, but we can. I'll make it will be recorded, and I'll make a note of it. Um, Isaac, before we go to the men's game, what would you predict Arsenal versus Chelsea Women's Super League on Saturday?
Chelsea have upper hand against us. They've beaten us 11 times. I don't know. We've won 4 times and we've drawn 5 times. 5 draws, 4 wins, and 11 losses. That is a
Wow,
bad. That is a bad record. And
it
the way
is.
Chelsea are playing, and I was
Under a
looking at
new
their
coach.
yeah, the way they are playing. I was looking at their form since December. They've only lost one game and won the rest.
Wow.
Only lost one game and
Yeah.
won the rest. And the way we are playing, I can
Mm.
only play. I can only hope for a draw. The way we are playing. Imagine when I say I can only hope for a draw and we are at home.
Hey, man. That's
It's
that's
like
bad.
we transferred the softies from the men's team to the ladies. Remember, there's a time we were being accused that we are so soft and we are
Yeah,
Yeah.
like cry babies. But
yeah,
right
Yeah.
now, everybody is complaining that we are using the dark arts, that we've
Hmm.
become evil,
yeah,
and we've like transferred all that to the ladies team, and they've become the softies.
yeah. They're playing like ladies now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
They
you
definitely.
know that game I can only hope for a draw because the way we lost to Brian and the way Chelsea are playing, and I know that they are capable of beating us if we don't change our tactics.
Yeah, definitely. So a draw, score draw, or 0-0.
A score draw, a 2-2 draw.
Yeah. Oh, Emerson is giving them a 3-1 blastering. Chelsea will blast us with 3-1. Um, hey man, they up with their Isaac 2-2. Let us. What will your score be?
With Zinsberger on goal, it will be 6-0 for Chelsea. And if we have Van Domsela on goal, it will probably be the 3-0.
Oh man, let's do that.
I'm not seeing a win. Not at all.
I'm gonna go for 3-1. It's like I predicted yesterday's score 2-1 for Bayern Munich. They did it much better. They went for, oh, it's this, am I now lagging? Oh, no, it's no, Laris. I went for 2-1 for yesterday. They did it 5-1. Um, Isaac, you're on mute. Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's park it there because I'm gonna just get myself more and more frustrated with the
Mm,
with the ladies. Let's
it's the
let's
fact
let's.
that I even have to go there.
Shame, man. Isaac, I
Um,
think you on mute, Isaac.
if I could, I
Uh,
would be staying home.
so yeah, Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. This game for me was also a very. I always thought that we will win the game. I had a 4-0 prediction on this game. But just take us through quickly. We had so many chances, so many corners. We had so many things done right in that first half, but we couldn't score. Just take us through what you saw. Um, I'm not sure if you were traveling.
Yeah, I only saw the highlights because I was in the UK already during that time, and they have like the 3 p.m. blackout, so I couldn't even watch the game anywhere.
Oh,
But I watched the highlights when I got back home, and yeah, yeah, it's usually if we don't score first half, then we definitely score second half. And yeah, if there were some moments in that game that I thought like he shouldn't have done that. And it's a
Mm.
good thing we have like Kai, we have Saka, we have the guys who can produce something. And it was a complete opposite of the Champions League game that we had against PSG.
Yeah. Yeah, no, look, I mean, I've watched the game, and the performance we had was obviously a much, much better performance that we had against Leicester.
Yeah,
However, Southampton also scored first.
yeah.
Also, very, very poor performance from our defenders. Again,
Mm.
I like Calafiori, but he still has so much to learn from the EPL.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah.
so much to learn from the Premier League because he's too hasty. He's too tight on. He comes from far and to be tight on the player, and then the player beat him, and then he doesn't have pace. He doesn't have the pace like Saliba has.
Mm.
Um, and I think from a tactic or rather position perspective, Partey didn't do too badly, but he was on right back. For me,
Mm.
that is nothing short of illegal to play Partey at right back. You can't play Partey at right back. That is so
No,
illegal. I mean, you have Tomiyasu fit on the bench. Yes, it comes from injury. You probably couldn't give him a full game, but then
no,
then then put Kivio on the left and put Calafiori on the right. You can
mm.
bring you can bring Kivio off on second half and put Tomiyasu on right back, and then swap Calafiori back to left back. But do something to that effect. But you can't play Partey on the right back. That's so illegal. He has to be arrested for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pathetic to see we yes, the players get injured, but then we revert back to the stupidity where we got injuries from Partey last season when he played at right back.
Mm.
This 3-1 score doesn't depict what really happened in the game. We went behind on 1-0. So from that perspective, yes, we came. Why must we always first wait for the opponents to score against us? It's not always going to happen that we're going to come back into a game. Yes, the
No,
fight is there, the mentality is there, but we shouldn't wait, or rather, we shouldn't start scoring when the opponents have scored first. That
no,
is not how we should do it. I mean,
no.
for a fact, last season we had a couple of stinkers, especially against Bournemouth. Not last season, the
Mm-hmm.
season before when we drew 3-3 with them, we also
Mm.
bottled the league. That 3 games, we drew 3 games in a row, and we drew 3-3 with them. This fixture, why should we go through those type of things? We shouldn't.
No, nah, it's yeah. I mean, it's the same mistake that we saw with Jonas as well. A Partey in the back, Caitlin Ford going to the back. So there's something at Arsenal that these two coaches pick up from each other and think like, hey, maybe this is a good idea or something. I have no clue. But for me, when you start the game, like, the first whistle goes, you start, you should be going forward and should try to score as many goals as you can. Because obviously, last season, we had it with the Villa game, we drew that game. There was even some games that we lost, and
Yeah.
that's because you're just like playing around and just waiting to see what the other team is doing, and you shouldn't be doing that. You should just like play around, but play it to the front and just score these goals, and not just like wait around. And yeah, I mean, we maybe have like, what is it, 10 minutes to score an equalizer or maybe score the winning goal, and those 10 minutes can be already too late.
Yes. Look, it took us three minutes to obviously do the equalizer on this game.
Yeah,
And
but you're
it
not
was
always that lucky.
no, not always. Therefore, I say, take your chances. And Isaac will probably tell you about. I mean, you've also said it before. is that we need a prolific striker. Isaac, before you run away again, what what was your what was your take on this particular game?
Well, I have three network providers and I'm trying to switch through them because if one buffers, I go to the other one. So this one is when we played Tottenham at home, and Ateta did the exact experiment of playing Partey at right back. And I remember
Yeah,
that game we drew 2-2, and there was a Jorginho mistake also in that game. And it's
yeah,
like he did exactly the same, but we went 1-0 down, and Harvard scored. But then he realized he had done a mistake earlier in his tactics, and then he ordered his three musketeers to change immediately,
yeah.
and then he made three subs, and I've never seen Ateta do three subs at once.
Mm.
And that
But when I
and that
saw him, yeah, but in this particular game, when he made three subs, I knew, okay, so he's now on level terms, and then he wants to win this game because he realizes that he's done a mistake, and then he goes ahead and even subs Partey in that game, brings Merino on, and then first he moves him from right back, then brings in a proper defender. And I
yeah,
realized then he's become ruthless. He's learned. But I'll not want him to be doing these experiments because you do these experiments and then one day it's gonna catch up to you. This
and it's
game
gonna
at
bite.
first it looked like a very comfortable game to us.
Yeah,
Mm.
Everybody was expecting us to win, but Ateta doing the Ateta thing, he wants to give us some blood pressure first and then go on to win the game, like he did with the Leicester game.
yes.
Then we went 2-2, and then we
Yeah,
had
man.
to go 3-1, 3-2 up, and then 4-2. I
That's
want us to be winning comfortable.
all the blood pressures that is causing us to go to the doctor for.
You've got to go to the doctor and get some shock absorbers if you are an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, for sure. So I said to Laris, the score doesn't really depict the actual game. And then the man in the picture there, Saka. Saka is getting a lot of criticism
Mm.
from everybody. There's a lot of talk this week about is he world class, is he not world class?
Mm.
Um, what? You know what? I think the pressure on Saka currently, Odegaard being injured, I think he feels that he has to be that creator for the team
Did
where
he
Odegaard
step
has
up?
been the creator. So I mean, and you can see, yes, he's still performing, but people are saying he's not the sucker that we know that scores the goal. Yes, he scored a very lucky goal on Saturday. The goal mistake that the defender made, he didn't know that Saka's going to come in like that. So
Mm.
his first touch wasn't the best touch of the defender, and Saka just pounced it in. But he also had two assists. A very beautiful cross from the left, the right hand side into Martinelli, and also a
Mm.
very beautiful through ball onto Havertz. And a lot of people is giving him a lot of flack and criticism for his lack of performing. Saka for you, Laris, has been consistent for the last few seasons. Since he has come into to play at right wing. When he was at
Mm.
the left back, he was alright, but he didn't have he wasn't playing at his actual strength
which he's
That is
doing currently.
potential. Yeah.
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 So why does he get all this unnecessary pressure from the media and the rival fans?
Yeah, I think it's also. I think it still had. It still comes from the Euros when he was it the Euros or the World Cup when he lost that penalty for England in the
Missed the pen.
final.
No, Euros.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I
That's the
mean, the
Euros.
guy was
Yeah.
19. Yeah, the guy was 19, and I think it still comes from there. It's also the fact that he looks always tired to me. Like for me, the way he sometimes walks across the field, it looks like he's tired. That he's getting a bit too much pressure on him. People expect him to step up now because Ødegaard is out. But then I think like we are with 11 people on the pitch and everybody can step up, to be honest. So it's not only going to be on Saka, it's going to be on everybody else. Yeah, I think he's vice captain now this season. So he has to take over. Or he's like third captain. I'm not sure actually because he keeps switching up all these captains all the
If
time.
if Jorginho starts, then he's captain, and then if
Yeah.
Jorginho is not starting, then Saka
That
is captain.
Saka as captain. Yeah, and I think that also brings like some pressure with him. Plus the fact that like last season he was still nurturing an calf
He,
injury, and I think it's still not being all right. And you see when he gets the ball, he always has like two defenders around him, or like a defender and a midfielder. There's always like two people attacking him, and then he leaves again. Of course, he gets a free kick. Usually, he gets a free kick, and yeah, I think these are the things that people pick on. Like, oh yeah, he's down again. Like, he get a free kick again. You know, all this stuff, and then everything together. And I think at some point he also hears everything around him, and yeah, it could be that it starts to affect him.
yeah. The question that I've asked Isaac is why is the pressure from the media and the rival fans so much on Saka? And I thought because Odegaard is obviously out injured and he feels that he needs to take up the responsibility of creating for whatever the team needs. What is your take on why the pressure so heavily on him?
I believe because he's become like more of a main man or a main guy in the
Hmm.
team, and like everything is going through him. And at the moment, I believe he's the player with the most assists in the Premier League at the moment,
Seven
Yeah.
out
and
of
he's
seven. Yeah.
7 assists. Yeah, and he's doing everything right. And you know, when you're doing everything right, the media is going to be focusing on you.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
and he's so young, and he's carried us on his back. And it's not only this season. You remember when him and Emil Smith Rowe carried us on their
Came in.
backs?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Helen boys. And at the moment, he's the star boy. We call him the star boy, and it's like he's doing everything right,
Mm.
and he's raised his bar. He set his standards very high. It's
Mm.
Mm.
like we are now expecting him in each and every game. He's got to either score or
Or
assist.
assist.
And if he
Yeah.
does not do that, and then we are saying he's dropped his standards. And then
Mm.
he's remember he's played so many games. And when I saw the England lineup today, I believe they are playing at the moment. He's
Yeah.
Yeah,
still
they're
in
playing
it.
now.
He's still in it. He's playing each and every game. He's played so many minutes, and he's
Mm.
so young, and he's getting kicked around by every defender. Is being doubled up, but he's getting through them. They devise a way of having two or three against him, but he still manages, and he does not complain. They kick him, he
Mm.
gets. He falls down and still gets up and continues. I believe if he continues this way, he's going to be a super player. And I believe all this hype, all this media focusing on him is because he's doing everything right.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there's an argument in the media and in the mainstream media, and also in the rival fan channels, that Saka is not world class, and I agree with them. He's not world class for the mere fact is that he has not won anything. Um, that is the only reason why he's not world class. He does world class things, and there's so many hyped about why he's not world class. Leave the boy, let him be, let him do his job. And the fact that he came out last on Tuesday night, um, on the interview, post match interview, where Henri asked him, "What do you think you're gonna do?" And he said, "I feel like we're gonna win something this season." And that is not because he's arrogant. That is because he believes that they can do it. And
Hmm.
and and the media turns it around and say, "But why must Saka come out and say these things? It can bite you. It can come back to haunt you. Wara, yeah, this and that." But at the end of the day, it is the confidence that this boy is carrying. The fact that he believes in the manager, he believes in his players, and he believes that the team has done nothing wrong this season. Yes, they have maybe performed badly here and there, but they have not lost a game since the start of the season. And that is where I think it is so unfair and so embarrassing for people to come out and criticize this young boy that has got nothing wrong. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. And that is for me very frustrating as a fan. And I think they must start stopping these agendas that I have against Saka. And I mean, he's still young, and I'm hoping that our psychologists and our mental trainers at the club can really look after our boys. Um, so yeah, that for me it is so wrong to see what they're doing. Um, I was gonna. We don't have much time left, but I was gonna do a team selection for the weekend, but I think we're not gonna do that. We're gonna pass. Just to touch on the next 10 fixtures. Where is that? The next 10 fixtures. Oh my word! Where? There we go. The next 10 fixtures. It's gonna be a hell of a 2 months from now. I tell you what. The next game is next week Saturday, Bournemouth away. Then we have Champions League at home that Wednesday or Tuesday. Then we have Liverpool that weekend. Bournemouth away, we should win that game on paper. Again, we don't know what is gonna come, who's gonna turn up, and what's gonna happen. I mean, if you look at that, there, it's every week we're playing 2 games a week. Isaac, do we have the legs for that?
I believe we can because at the moment I believe we have like uh, so many defenders, and I believe he Ateta wanted to invest in his team and have like two teams. At the moment, he does not have two teams that are of the same quality because you
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, sure, man.
if you replace
Let's.
those two with Jesus and Sterling, there is a big drop. We all can see that.
Yeah,
But if you take Calafiori out, or if you take Timber out, and replace with Calafiori, there's not much of a drop off because his
It's
defense is so gelled that you can take one piece out. And for instance, the last two games, we've not had Ben White, and we've not missed Ben White.
yeah,
But going forward is where there's a bit of a drop down if you take the two out. But if you look at a game like Bournemouth, on paper is a game we should win. Shakhtar, we are at home, we should be winning that game. The big game is Liverpool, but I believe the way Liverpool plays is an open system.
yeah.
That game you should win. But
We can
the
explore that.
funny thing is, I was watching Everton play the other night with Newcastle, and they were so expansive. There were so much spaces. They were playing like they were playing tiki taka. And I was telling one of
Mm,
my friends, you know what? These teams are playing an open system, but you just wait when Everton plays Arsenal. They park the bus
they park it. It's low
because they know
block.
you can exploit them.
Mm.
And they park the bus, and then you have to go around them, but not through them. But one of my friends told me this season we've mixed our game, and we are a bit of more dangerous than last season because if teams park the bus and they concede a set piece, they're afraid of conceding a corner at the moment. So they know if we park the bus, we should not concede a corner or a set piece. So they will also try not to park the bus so much because if you do that, at some point you will concede that set piece.
Yeah.
And that is where they're afraid that they'll get punished with this Arsenal. And we're being accused of using dark arts, and I don't know how many clubs submitted to the FA that we are using dark arts and that we should be punished for that.
Yeah, but Isaac, I mean, you and I know, even on the times with Cannon Fodder and Alex, we've talked a lot about the dark arts. We were too, like you said early on, we were too, we like sissy boys. We were weak. We were very timid. And now we became men. We performing out of our socks. We're doing the things that the fans were calling out, and I love it. And I'm sure the rival fans, they see this, the rival teams, they see this, and now it's a problem for them because
Mm.
Arsenal is coming to a point where they don't back down for anybody. Larissa, while Isaac's sorting out his thing there, um, what do you think the games that stand out for you there? I mean, for the next month, it's 2 games a week. Premier
Yes.
League, EPL Cup, and of course the Champions League. What stands out for you there?
Yeah, of course we have to perform, and I still stand by what I said. We still don't have the quality striker to have like all the finishes. And the good thing is now I read today that Kai Havertz is most likely to be there for the Bournemouth game. But if he falls out, like Jesus, I'm sorry, but he's not it. Like this season, he's again not it. Sterling hasn't impressed me, still not. So I'm still not a fan. I'm still like thinking like, just please go back to Chelsea. So yeah, it's that's also a thing. Like, what if Harvard gets out and we lose him for like a week of 4 5? Who's gonna step up then? Like who is gonna have to take on all these games? Like it's also what Isaac said. We don't have like two teams that we can switch up. Like we have for a few players, we have like backups, but not for everybody.
Mm.
And then we have a few backups that are not like up to standard of the ones that are playing in week out. So yeah, this is going to be a very very busy program, and I'm really hoping that we can do it all. But I think I think we're going to lose some points here and there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not so worried about Bournemouth. The question I want to know is, do we start Ethan Nwaneri for this Bournemouth game, or at least give him more than 10 minutes of playing time? Depending obviously how we start the game, how Bournemouth sort of rock up, what is their tactics. Without Odegaard will probably be back for that game, but not 100% sure. I think they will not play him if he's fit. I think they would want to play him in cameo positions, and then of course bring him in on sector and then be ready for Liverpool. That is what my thinking is. But
Mm.
Ethan Ethan needs to get games against these type of players. I thought he's going to come in on Saturday against Southampton. In fact, I thought he's going to start for Southampton.
Mm.
Isaac, so do this youngster. I mean, when he came on against Leicester, his first touch was a shot at goal, and it was on target. Do we play this guy in the absence of Odegaard?
Uh, I think he should get game time, but at the same time, should also protect him from exposing him because he's still young. But I think he's a little magician. When he came on against Leicester, I saw what he could do.
Mm.
Yes,
Saw what he could do. But at the moment, I think Ateta prefers playing Trossard in that Odegaard position.
with
Uh,
experience.
yes, he prefers the experience. And someone was telling me that when you see a manager not bringing on some players despite them being on the bench, is because he does not trust his bench. He trusts what he's put forth.
Mm.
I was asking this because you last season you could see that there were players on the bench, the likes of Jorginho, but they were not getting game time. And he told me, you see, when the manager is not bringing players on, he does not trust them. But at the
Mm,
moment when you're seeing him bringing players off the bench, the players that he brings off the bench, he trusts them to go on and affect the game and change the
mm.
game. But I think Nwaneri is a little magician, and he could do even in the Bournemouth game. Not probably play him the 90 minutes, but give him some 20 minutes for the Bournemouth game, and probably the Shakhtar game. Give him some 20-30 minutes, because I don't think you can expose him against Liverpool. But when you go to the Preston game, that is a game he can play.
You can start full game there.
Mm.
Yes, he can start full game for Preston. But when you go to Newcastle are a bit of a bullish. They like
Yeah, they
bullying us
will.
around because of the physicality. You cannot start him. And
Mm.
then you look at Inter. Inter is
Oh,
also a physical game and a
Mm.
demanding game because they also park the bus. And you look at Chelsea, you cannot
no,
expose him. The way Nottingham Forest are set with Esperanto right now,
that's also
remember
dangerous.
they've only lost one game this
Yeah,
season. They are also so dangerous. That's a game you do not underestimate Nottingham at the moment. And Nottingham Forest even last season is one team that we've struggled to beat. And you look at Sporting. Sporting plays a free flowing game.
and
There
the
you have
striker that
got
the striker that we might get in January, he will probably
Victor
score
Gokres.
again. He will probably score against us.
Yes. And then you look at West Ham. West Ham at the moment, they are struggling.
I'll give him game time there as well. Look, I'll bring him on most of those games, very much in the cameo system. Like Bournemouth, he'll probably get 20. Preston, he will get another full game. Sector, like you say, 20, 30 minutes.
Mm.
I'll probably give him a 5, 10 minutes, depending on where we at in the game against Newcastle.
Mhm,
Inter will not even do anything.
mhm,
Chelsea maybe. Nottingham Forest, I'll give him like 10 to 15 minutes.
mhm.
Sporting, I'm not sure what to do, but West Ham, I will give him plenty minutes to play because then the week after West Ham, I think we're going to play Manchester United.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. And given that we want to win each and every game, right now, the standards that have been set, we want each and every win. We do
Yes.
not want to settle for a draw anywhere, but we want to win. We've suffered so much,
Yeah.
and
It's gonna be. It's gonna.
my evil friends keep reminding me that since we won, someone who was born in 2004 is now married and has kids, and we've not won a Premier League.
Tell me quickly, let us. Ethan. I mean, he's a like Isaac say, he's a little magician. Yes,
Hmm.
he's still young, but we've done that before. We've done it with,
Yeah.
and he's a some sort of a legend now. It's Cesc Fabregas. We've done it with him when he came in very young. And look what he's become. Surely Arteta has learned something from Wenger when it comes to talent like Ethan.
Hmm. Well, I mentioned this last week when I was with Sima doing the show. Just let him start. You have 5 subs. Let him start. Give him the first 45 minutes. If it doesn't work, change him in halftime. You still have 45 minutes to turn it around. But then the
That's
guy gets the chance, the guy gets the minutes. He can start the game. If, for all we know, maybe he makes like 2 fantastic goals. You don't know. But give him the chance. Give him the experience to grow into a really good player for us. And one player that in the future, maybe in 5 years, 6 years, that you can sell for like a 30, 40 million. But the
if not
guy he needs to get his experience, and the best way is to do him, throw him in the deep end and see if he can swim.
especially in the games like the Bournemouths, the Prestons, the Shakhtars.
Hmm.
Nothing here other than those games. I will start him, but as you know, Arteta and Isaac alluded to it. Arteta would want to go for experience, especially
Yeah,
with what happened now in the Leicester game and in the Southampton game. Both
yeah,
games at home, we leaked a couple of goals there. I mean, Liverpool only conceded 2 goals this whole season.
Two, yes, two.
So that shows something. We've conceded what, 5 goals, I think. Um,
yeah,
5 goals. Let me just see.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh, there we
quiz.
go. There. So it's one against Brighton, two against City, two against Leicester, 6 goals, one against
Six
Southampton.
goals.
Six.
6 goals. So that's a lot. And if you considering Liverpool only conceded two goals, that is a hell of a lot. And to be fair, Liverpool are currently the runners. They're the leaders, and they're not gonna go away anytime soon, unless we put it to them and say, you know what, you're not coming past us. And we are at home. We can score 1 or 2 goals through them. We can do it. We've done it last season, and we can do it again. And especially with Odegaard being back and Havertz is becoming a big game player, I'm sure we can put 1 or 2 past them.
Allison is injured. He's out for a few weeks.
Okay, oh, there 6 weeks. I think it's 6 weeks. Yeah, 6 weeks
Yeah,
that is
6
out
weeks.
for.
Uh,
So and look, is it Callahan? Their backup keeper. He's not a bad keeper,
he's not a bad keeper.
but
He's a good keeper.
he's not a bad keeper. But that defense is going to listen to a different voice now coming back and they only have two games then before playing us. So in two games, you're hearing a different voice behind you, and that
Mm.
can become a bit of a confusion and a bit of a work through, because yes, you can hear it on the training ground, but and in the game on the pitch, you're hearing a different goalkeeper, and that is where I think the problem can come. Just before we go, the last question I want to ask you guys, and I think we well over time, is that what do you think in the Premier League? There is one, two, three, four, five, six Premier League games in terms of points. That should be 18 points. Um, what points sort of will you take from those six games?
18.
Not the full 18. No.
Okay,
No,
so
I
how
think
many
maybe like
points will you take?
15.
15. 15. So we're losing one game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Me, I'm going
Losing
for
or
18.
draws.
So we're losing one game somewhere there.
Mm-hmm.
So I take it in your mind is either Liverpool or Chelsea, perhaps. If not, maybe a Newcastle or Nottingham Forest. Can be any of those.
Yeah, yeah. It depends actually how they now come back from international break, because we know when they come back from international break, it's always a bit like searching again, because obviously they haven't played with each other. So, but yeah, I do believe that I think with a Nottingham Forest we will struggle. I mean, they also won from Liverpool, so
Away to Liverpool, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you say 15, Isaac. You say 18.
18 why? Because you look at Liverpool, they have not played a top six team
Yeah,
this
they
season.
have not.
They've not played a top six, and they played a poor United and beat them. And they are playing an expansive system. That is
Oh man. Yeah, I think we will have 16 points out of 18. We'll probably draw one of those games there.
Mm,
Um, yeah, we'll probably draw one of those games, especially going to out to Chelsea. That could be a draw. Even the Nottingham Forest could be a draw.
mm,
I'm not worried about Liverpool, like Isaac's saying.
mm.
Newcastle, I'm sure we can beat them. But yeah, I think we should be okay with 16 points.
I saw Emerson going for 14.
Yeah, Emerson is saying 40, 40. Wow,
14.
that's two draws. Oh, but he's given it,
Yeah.
yeah. He
Or a
said,
lose
yes,
and a
that
draw.
not there. Yeah, he says away win, home win, draw, draw, lose away, win home, and draw. Another draw. Okay, so yeah, and he said yes to my question regarding Ethan, and then of course he's
Yeah.
got the 14 points. So it's two draws, and the rest is wins. Yeah, I think we've come to a point where we obviously have to say goodbye.
Mhm.
Isaac, yeah, if you're not gonna come back, we will. I'll message you. There is any last words from you?
Yeah, I just hope Saturday will be a good one. I'm obviously gonna be there again, and I just hope we can turn it around for, if not for themselves, then especially for the supporters.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's the
All
fact
right,
that we
but
now play all the games in the Emirates, and we have until now nothing to show for.
and that's a problem, huh? That is a
Yeah,
huge problem.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. But anyway, thank you for watching, everybody that's there. Thank you for Ange that came in. Thank you for Emerson that you always been faithful. Subscribe to Guna Matters if you have not done that. Those who are going to watch it later. hit the like, obviously, and make sure that you follow us on all the other platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and X. And Larissa, always good to have you on the show. It's always it's always a benefit to sit sit alongside you, listen to your passion that you talk about in the ladies. So yeah, very uh, much thank you to you. Until
You're
next
welcome.
time.
Until next
And
time.
also Isaac will not be a stranger. Isaac has got so much knowledge. He's got so much knowledge about both men and female. As you could
He only
hear,
needs to sort this network out.
he just needs to sort out his network. Yeah. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for being
Thank
here
you.
with us, and all the best to those that are also gonna watch later. So be blessed, be awesome, and be safe. Cheers, everybody.